Welcome to part 2. Here we will be looking at my YouTube likes analyzer. And the first thing to ask, what is it? Suppose I navigate to a YouTube channel. Any one of these pages will do. And I want to know how well received different uploads from this channel have been. But if, as a user, I can get this information, then I should be able to get it from the URL. And that's where my application comes in. So I grab the URL and I paste it into the application here. And the first thing that I can do is that, well, in the spirit of understanding upload reception, instead of the default sorting the return videos by those most recent, I can sort them by those most liked. After that, I can specify a range to get back only those videos where the ratio of a video's likes to dislikes falls within that range. And maybe as a creator, I would be interested in those videos admitting a less favorable ratio. Let's say in this case, I just want to pick up all the videos, then this range will do that for me. And if we get those, we returned a sorted list. And just to see the discrepancy here, if I visit this link, then I see a video with 685 likes, whereas if I visit the final link, I see a video with, by comparison, a mere 56. So how does this work under the hood? Well, from the URL, I scrape the page for a specific meta tag which contains the channel ID, because that ID is not always immediately apparent in the URL. And after I've got that ID, I can use it to get information about the channel's uploads from the YouTube data API. And then I can use that information to sort and filter the videos according to the user's specified criteria before, of course, returning them to the client. So what do I like about the project? I like the implied agency required, where I had to, on my own, interpret the YouTube API docs and to retrieve that slice of information I wanted about a channel. You know, this was my first experience doing something like that. But, you know, there is a lot more to say on the front of how could it be better. Well, there's always infinitely many ways in which a project could be better. But some things here are quite immediate. I mean, immediately it is ugly, you know, in how it looks, but also, like, for instance, what I did in terms of using -1 to specify that a video has no dislikes. That could have been implemented less clumsily. You know, but I think the major issue for this application would be scaling, addressing scaling. And if I were to put in a channel URL which is associated with thousands of videos, it would take ages to load those videos to load those videos sorted and filtered. And so if I came back to the projects, I would at least implement like a loading bar, which is incrementing with sort of every few videos which have been processed, something like that. And I would probably want to know how long requests to the API typically take, and how long they're actually taking in a specific instance, so I could give the user an estimate of how much time they have to wait. Yeah, there's a lot to consider.